Getting back to the Joe Strummer thing. I actually opened for Joe Strummer his last gig in Chicago, and he wasn't around at the sound check. And I was thinking, oh, if I'd met him in the past. I knew the connection with my hometown. And halfway through doing that song, he appeared in the wings, and he was either really enjoying it or he was very angry about something. Actually, he was really enjoying it, but he was standing going, and my bass player went, looking all Joe Strummer and everything, very, very close to us. And but he was doing a thing with the Mescaleros that night, and I think the Mescalero stuff was really interesting. He died very suddenly of some sort of heart condition that I don't think he even knew he had. But he was really on a slope, and he was doing some really good stuff. And that night, he had a lot of space to improvise. He was doing a lot of stuff where he was actually toasting the thing he saw in Newport when I was a little schoolboy, and he would go to the Silver Sands Barbadian restaurant for the blues underneath, and guys would play the fresh records and pick up the mic and start toasting over it. That was really big in the 70s, and he told me that was the first place he'd ever seen anyone do that. And that night he had all this space to do, and I thought, God, this is so much. I used to see him with the Clash. We opened for the Clash once, and it was just like a riot. You couldn't tell what was going on. You're just trying to preserve your sanity, because it was people just going mad. It was a whole performance thing that we couldn't really tell what the music was like or anything. It was just a scene, And I was talking to his wife. She said, "What do you think? Did you like it?" I thought it was really good. I thought it was much better than I see the Clash. She said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Would you tell him that? He's not very sure about it." And Joe Strummer sat about right where you are, and I went, "Oi, that was better than the Clash." And he went. So I guess he appreciated my comments. Anyway, this is a Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros song, which I love. It's like an anthem for tearing down walls and boundaries and music, the power of music as a universal language. All things we seem to have forgotten in the last 6 months. I see the millions walk a city mile, the ticker tape kings and the juveniles. Does anybody know which way to go? Will anybody come back on the CB radio? Yeah, I've been counting the stars and the telegraph poles, 'cause each one represents the hopes of a soul. You think that God would be so hard when you see all the little children running in the backyard on a Mississippi good with a sub-Saharan sun. Yes, somebody's wailing in the financial district, son. Can anybody feel the distance to the Nile? Well, I wanna live, I wanna dance so wild, I wanna make like Eddie on my rockabilly train. I'm gonna beat out the blues with my ball and chain. Can't pull a hold up with a bebop gun. There's people living now, they ain't got no heart, they never had none. Down on the border, they crawl all the way just to get a clip of living with a clean old spray. Can anybody feel the distance to the Nile? I wanna live, I wanna dance so wild. Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't pull a hold up with a bebop gun. There's people living now, they ain't got no heart, They never had none, and there's a payphone ringing on a murder mile, and a sucker who picks up will get his number dialed. And all the sparkling water that ever flowed could never wash down this town so clean that it glows. And I need to see in an X-ray style. Yeah, I need some rock art that don't come in a vial. Can anybody feel the distance to the Nile? Well, I wanna live, I wanna dance a while. Thank you very much. Thanks to Cole and Mendy for bringing me here. Thanks for Paul for fetching me here from Palm Springs Airport, where it's very hot, but now it's very pleasant. I'm going to go and have a lovely drink, and I want you to enjoy your evening. Give a tackle, Mango. Oh, those were good tackles. I was going to call him out. That was good food. Thanks, everyone. Thanks very much.
Let's hear it for John Langford, everybody.
And also, Hutch was kind enough to provide